Revelation 13:1. Then I stood on the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rising up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and on his horns 10 crowns, and on his heads a blasphemous name. Daniel 7:8. I considered the horns, and behold, there came among them another little horn, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking great things. These 10 crowns represent 10 kings, and the 10 horns represent 10 countries. Now I could be wrong, but I think it is highly possible that this is related to either the United Nations or the BRICS countries. Both BRICS and the United Nations have alluded to a new world order, so we are going to take a look at both of them. To begin with, the press release for the United Nations Summit of the Future states, the United Nations adopts groundbreaking pact for the future to transform global governance. Allow me to translate. This means that the United Nations are proclaiming that they will be in control of the new world order, that the United States and the rest of the world will relinquish our sovereignty to them. The Pact for the Future, the Global Digital Compact, and the Declaration on Future Generations open the door to new opportunities and untapped possibilities, said the Secretary General during his remarks at the opening of the Summit of the Future. The President of the General Assembly noted that the pact would lay the foundations for a sustainable, just, and peaceful global order for all peoples and nations. Did you catch that line about global order? That means that they intend to rule the world, including the United States. Did you catch that line about a global digital compact? That means an international digital ID. What a coincidence. Donald Trump is pushing for the same thing. Now let's look at how the 10 crowns fit into this, shall we? Well, if you count Gladwin Jeb, the current Secretary General of the United Nations, there have been 10 Secretary Generals, so that would make 10 crowns, and they have all been from different countries, so that would make 10 horns, which would only leave the little horn left, which would presumably make the next Secretary General of the United Nations the Antichrist, which makes sense, as everything is in place for the Third Temple, and the United Nations would be the most obvious choice to set up a ready-made world government. Also, the Antichrist would be a form of Apollo, and the laurel wreath can be viewed as a crown of Apollo, and this would explain why the United Nations uses a laurel wreath crown of Apollo in plain sight.
And now let's take a look at contender number 2, the BRICS nations.
Russia hosted the 16th annual BRICS Summit in Kazan. In mid-October, Russian President Vladimir Putin said
that this year's event would examine the parameters of interaction in the emerging multipolar world and the possibility of building a new world order.
The interesting thing about this is that Russia is often linked to Gog and Magog in the end times, so there is a biblical precedence for this. But what about the 10 crowns, you ask? Well, as of now, there are exactly 10 countries that are members of BRICS, and those are the following: Brazil, Russia, India, South Africa, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates. Now please keep in mind that I am merely offering these examples up as possibilities. It is definitely possible that the 10 crowns could be related to something completely different. I am simply presenting you with different theories about the 10 crowns with real-life, current examples in order to generate honest dialogue and critical thinking. But the very fact that either one of these theories is a viable possibility right here and now, that should be a wake-up call to how close we are to the end. Praise Jesus' name.
Fight the